So I just got done watching the Golden State Warriors beat the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. You thought this would be a big game. It was a big game. The Warriors are now 9-1 with Jimmy Butler, but we've yet to see them play a really good team. You thought this would be that game, but no Karl Anthony Towns. The Bucks game would be the other tough game they played, and there was no Giannis in that game. So we haven't even really seen this team tested, although all the wins count the same. And that brings us to the situation we're in right now. I really wanted to address this possibility like a week ago, but it seemed so far-fetched that I didn't even bring it up. But now there is a real chance the Warriors might move up to the 5 seed in the West. Now, of course, there's also a possibility they fall to 10, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but they are now only 3 games back in the loss column from the Houston Rockets, and the Warriors own that tiebreaker. But not only are the Rockets struggling lately, the Memphis Grizzlies have now lost 3 in a row, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be out multiple weeks with an ankle injury. And no, I'm not saying that like the Warriors can go get the 4 seed now, though it is possible. I wouldn't bet on that. But it pretty much guarantees that the top 3 seeds in the West are going to remain the top 3 seeds in the West, which is why it's a monumental deal for just the Warriors in general and the NBA in general if the Warriors can get up to the 4 or 5 matchup, because that means you would be able to have OKC, Lakers, Denver, and the Warriors all avoid playing each other in that first round. And them meeting in the first round wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. Maybe you don't even believe the Warriors should be in that conversation. Maybe you feel like Memphis is better. Maybe you feel like Memphis is better than Denver or the Lakers, right? You could feel like that. So no, it wouldn't be the end of the world if we got Denver, Golden State in the first round. That would be amazing. That would be theater. That would be great. But what I think is better overall for the NBA is if we get OKC, Minnesota in the first round. We get Lakers, Clippers. We get Warriors, Grizzlies, and we get Denver, Rockets. Maybe that makes the first round a little bit less interesting, but I think overall that would be great. That would be setting up second round matchups between Golden State and Oklahoma City, and second round matchups between the Lakers and Denver. And none of these teams besides OKC should be feeling like they're locked in, should feel like they're just gonna cruise to the second round. But I think we would all favor the Lakers over any 6 seed. We would probably favor the Nuggets over any team they would play, right? You would favor the Nuggets over the Warriors or the Rockets or Minnesota. Minnesota? Again, I don't know. You would favor the Nuggets, right? But that's one part of the equation. The other part is people have differing opinions, and I'm not going to act like I'm plugged in with players, but I think a lot of players' mindset, players are usually late to the party. Players don't see the next big thing coming. Like, not comparing Shea to Steph Curry, but it is kind of a similar situation where the Warriors, the year before they won the championship, they went 7 games with the Clippers. The year before that, they went to the second round, lost to the Spurs. But they were a proven playoff team. Not proven, but you get what I'm saying. They were an established playoff team. Then all of a sudden, they won 67 games. And still going into that playoffs, you would hear people talk about the Rockets or the Clippers as bigger threats. Like, you don't want to see those teams. Because at that point, James Harden and Chris Paul were already more established than Steph Curry. James Harden was a first-team All-NBA guy the year before Steph Curry won MVP, right? Obviously, Chris Paul was Chris Paul at the time. The Lob City Clippers, it was a show. So a lot of people were saying, yeah, the Warriors, they're a good regular season team, but they don't want to see the Clippers or they don't want to see the Rockets, right? And we're seeing a lot of that right now with this Oklahoma City team. And I think we're hearing that, again, I'm not plugged in with players, but I feel like that is the player sentiment. Where if you ask a player in the NBA right now, who are they more afraid of going up against? A Shea-led team or a Jokic-led team or a Bron-led team, not to mention Luka, they're probably going to say we're more scared of Jokic and LeBron. And I bring that up because we're now in a situation where teams might want to decide which side of the bracket they might want to be on. If you're the Warriors and it's coming down to the last game of the season, which it might, do I want to win this game, be the 5 seed and guarantee us playing Oklahoma City in the second round? Or do I want to be on the Lakers, Denver side of the bracket? If I had to guess the way players think, and even sometimes coaches, they'd rather be playing the young OKC team. In their mind, they're thinking it's prime Bron. In their mind, they're thinking Jokic is unstoppable. They're thinking these young OKC cats, they don't know what they're doing. They can't score in the playoffs. And who knows, they might be right, but it's funny the lens that sometimes players look through, because it's like they see this elite defense record-breaking defense, force a bunch of turnovers, and they say, we'll figure it out. We'll be able to score when we need to. At the same time, they feel like the OKC offense is limited and they'll be able to get stops when they need to against OKC. So it's funny. I think a lot of players, whether they would admit it or not, would rather play OKC than the Lakers or even Denver. And who knows? We'll see who's right on that. We'll see who's right. But just so you guys know what would have to happen the rest of the way for the Warriors to climb up to the 5 seed. And again, I know it's not just the Warriors. Minnesota won again tonight, but I don't think the Clippers are going to be making a surge. If the Clippers do, the Clippers have the tiebreaker over the Warriors, but we'll see with the Norm Powell injury now and Kawhi's not going to play every game. I just wouldn't be betting on the Clippers pushing this, but maybe they will. Maybe they will, and they have the tiebreaker over the Warriors. But part of the reason I feel confident saying the Warriors will be above Minnesota is because the Warriors have the tiebreaker over Minnesota. But the Rockets are 37-25, which means they have 20 games left. They are 5-11 in their last 16 games. The Warriors are 34-28, which means they also have 20 games left. So let's even be generous for the Rockets considering how they're playing right now and say they go 12-8. That would put them at 49-33 on the year. Let's say the Warriors in that same span go 15-5. That would also put them at 49-33. Meaning the Warriors will be over the Rockets because the Warriors have the tiebreaker. And again, we're talking about a team that is 5-11 in their last 16 games. I feel like it's much more likely they are 10-10 in their last 20. Again, that's being generous. They're 5-11 in their last 16. But if they do go 10-10, just the quick maths for you guys, they would be 47-35. And if that were to happen, the Warriors would have to go 13-7 in their last 20. And to me, that is like the baseline for the Rockets. If they somehow go below 10-10, they're not going to be the 5 seed because the Warriors are going to be at least 13-7 the rest of the way. You would think. Injuries happen. You don't know what's going to happen, but they're trending upward. Rockets trending downward. And they do actually play one more time this year, which might end up deciding all of this. And what I've come to learn this year is schedule talk and looking at strength of schedule can be pretty irrelevant. You don't know who's playing, you don't know who's hurt, who's resting, who's on a back-to-back, all that. It's pretty irrelevant. But for the sake of this conversation, on paper, it seems like the Rockets have an easy schedule. Until you look at their last few weeks. Here are their last 11 games. I know that's a lot, but stick with me. 11 games. Denver, Atlanta, Utah, Phoenix. Those are easy. Lakers, Utah again. And then Oklahoma City, Golden State, Clippers, Lakers, Denver. I have a hard time believing they are going to go 12-8 in their next 20. They got 2 games back-to-back coming up against the Pelicans. They got to win both of those. They lose one of those, it might be wraps. I know that's kind of crazy calling it early, but it's another storyline to watch this season. A storyline I wasn't sure was going to be possible up until these last couple days. I was kind of gearing myself up for a Denver Warriors first round series. I still would love that. But I think the best thing for the NBA would be LeBron James, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and OKC all being in the second round. And if the Warriors somehow can sneak up to that 5 seed, it makes it all a possibility. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a big deal at all? Do you think maybe we are underrating Memphis and Houston? I don't know. They're falling right now, and they got injuries. Jaren Jackson Jr., who has been their best player this year, I'm not sure that's going to continue going forward, but this year he has been, and he's going to be out at least a couple weeks is what they said. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm out. Peace.